Well, with me now to discuss the freezing weather in the US and the storms here across the UK is our BBC weather presenter Helen Willetts. Helen, hello. First of all, let's talk about the United States. What's going on there? What's causing this deep freeze?
It's unbelievably cold, isn't it, Anita? It's difficult living here in the mild shores to appreciate just how cold it is.
The pictures are astonishing, aren't they?
Absolutely astounding. But it's just really cold Canadian Arctic air, which is just sat there. And if you get cold air just sitting there with nothing to move it on, of course, at this time of year, we get what we call a negative energy balance, which is more energy leaves than actually enters the Earth's atmosphere from the sunshine. So it just gets colder and colder. And it's been brought a lot further south because of the jet stream. We often talk about these upper level winds, but they've dug themselves far south and they've brought that cold air right across most of the continent. Actually, it's unbelievably cold. Even single figures were forecast today across in Florida, so it's reached the far south as well.
Is the USA in any way influencing our weather here, or is there simply no connection between these two sort of rather unusual weather events?
No, I think there is some connection. It's to do with the jet stream I talked about, and it's because we've had the contrast in the air. You saw those really blue Arctic colours behind us. It's that contrasting with much milder air that we had originally in the southern states of the US, which give us a strengthening in our upper level winds. So the stronger the upper level winds, let's follow them actually behind me, then the more storms we get, or the stronger, more intense storms, if you like, that we get running across the Atlantic towards our shore. So yes, in a way, I suppose the temperature contrast over in the USA has given us some more ferocious storms, and we've seen more than our fair share, haven't we, here in the last few days. And unfortunately, well, we're not out of the woods yet either.
So talk to us about the ongoing situation here then.
Okay, so we had a really stormy night and we've had a stormy day. We have now lost the last severe flood warning across the southwest, but there are numerous other flood warnings out, and we're watching what's happening down towards the southwest. Again, I've got some graphics if we can get those up and you can have a look at those, but we've got another area of low pressure coming in to the southwest.
Yes, a slight problem with the graphics at the moment. Helen, we'll rely on you to describe for us what you hope to illustrate with those graphics.
A couple of little glitches that we've got. One heading towards the southeast tonight, so laughing aside, we could have 10 to 15 millimetres or more rain, and that doesn't sound a great deal, does it?
There they are.
That 10 to 15 millimetres could cause some further impacts floodwise in the south and the east. Elsewhere, it's tending to ease a little. Tomorrow looks quieter for perhaps 12, 18 hours for some of us, but then there's another area of low pressure, which I'll show you now, which is going to head its way in off the Atlantic as well. And that area of low pressure may well affect much of England and Wales and give as much as perhaps 30 or 40 millimetres of rain. And bearing in mind, of course, that most of the UK at the moment is absolutely saturated. It's not just the river levels, but the groundwater levels, they're right at the surface. Another weather system comes in on Friday, but in between, a little ridge of high pressure again. So some windows of drier weather in between these. Friday's looks as if it's not going to be as potent, perhaps just 5 to 10 millimetres more. And actually, as we head into the weekend, for many of us, we might get 2 clear days of dry weather. The next rain not due into Northern Ireland until the second half of Sunday. So that's got to be good news.
That would be quite something at the moment, because it has felt pretty relentless.
It has. It's been one of the stormiest months, I think, since '93 I was reading. That's the last time we had this many storms in a month.
OK, well, we will keep a very close eye on the weather forecast, of course. Helen, thank you very much. Helen Willetts. Now, as we've been saying, freezing conditions are affecting much of America. Chicago, we were showing you some pictures from there just a moment ago, has been one of the worst affected cities. And Emma Robbins joins us from there now via webcam. Emma, hello to you. I know you have to go outside because I understand you have a dog, but I guess those walks are pretty short.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not only for me is hard to go outside, but for the dog as well. You know, she can't walk on the ice. It's just so cold that she starts crying, and we come in just a few minutes afterward just for her to do her business.
And what does it feel like when you're out there, even with all the layers presumably that you put on to go outside?
Yeah, they're about 6 layers on top and then 4 on bottom, plus the boots and scarves. But, right when you walk outside, it just hits you and you can't breathe and everything just feels so numb all of a sudden. And it's when you actually start thinking, wow, I'm capable of getting frostbite. But, the worst part is on your face and on your hands, because even when you take your hands out of the gloves for just a second to grab the keys or something, I mean, it hurts. It just feels like this blast. And, on your face, if you wear something to cover it, you get ice on your eyebrows and your eyelashes. So that starts to affect you as well from all the vapor.
It sounds astonishing. I mean, have you ever experienced any conditions like this before?
No, I mean, I've personally never been in this cold before. I've lived in Chicago for about 3 years, and this is definitely like yesterday was the coldest day of my life. I'm originally from Arizona, where it's a lot warmer. We definitely have winters, but I've never felt cold like this. It's really mind blowing.
And you're close to Lake Michigan, obviously there in Chicago. What does it look like?
You know, I'm about, yeah, like 20 feet away, and it looks like pictures that you'd see of when people go on vacation to like Iceland or even things when the Antarctic, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. Um, there are like little glaciers outside, and the ice just comes up all the way. And it's a little bit scary because you see so much steam coming off the water because the water is warmer than the actual ice and the air outside. But the ice is beautiful. It's very frightening to go out and see like the huge waves building it up more.
And have you been able to get to work or to do any of the things that you normally do?
I actually have Mondays off, and I work in a gallery on the weekends, but I didn't have to go in, which was lucky because I kind of had time to like prepare myself mentally and clothing wise. So today I also took off just because where I work during the weekdays, it's a little bit far away, and it would have been a real pain to get to because it's so icy. I know that all of the schools downtown closed. Most of them are closed for yesterday and today. Most of my friends that I have didn't have to go to work at all. It's so icy outside. Like, I live fairly close to the train as well. And just walking there, I had to go to the pharmacy next to it. And it was like so difficult. Just the air, like the wind is what really gets you. So yeah, I mean, I've been staying at home. I'm getting kind of like, cabin fever, but it's way too cold to go outside.
Okay, well, hopefully the situation will improve soon. Emma Robbins, thank you very much for talking to us.